Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.
Welcome to Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. This week we meet Stella Ndihu, the Managing Director of Eden, a very dynamic business making inroads in the healthy food industry. And later on, we look at the difference between static and dynamic businesses. Don't go away. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. My guest today is Stella Ndihu. She's the Managing Director of Eden. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell me about Eden, the business. What does it do?
Eden basically is a company that is in food production. We've just recently launched a pre-cooked soup into the market. And the soup is a fresh soup, all vegetarian. We don't add any preservatives or additives, and basically you pick it up and heat it up and it's ready to eat.
Eden having to do with food production. Eden for me sounds like a name from the Bible, a garden. Tell me about the history of Eden as a company.
When I did think of the name, I thought of the Garden of Eden. And actually originally when I started off with a farm, an organic farm. And my picture of that farm was really based on, I wanted it to look like what I thought Garden of Eden would. And then from there, I realized, or rather I was doing a lot of tomatoes. I was growing a lot of tomatoes that were doing very well. But I hadn't realized that tomatoes are seasonal in the market. So there's oftentimes in January, February when there's a glut in the market, so prices of tomatoes just fall. So when I experienced that, I just thought in my mind, I can't lose. So I needed to figure out how to preserve the tomatoes. So I got into the internet and just started looking for different things that I could do with the tomatoes. So initially what I did is I developed a tomato relish product. So I played around with different recipes and my own different herbs and came up with something that obviously I gave to friends, and everybody was like, yeah, you can sell this, you can sell this. So I developed it, looked for packaging, and finally managed to get that into supermarkets. But then what I hadn't anticipated is that when people are taking the relish is that you take a spoon today, a spoon tomorrow. So it just wasn't moving as fast as I expected. I just bumped into a friend who was a chef, and one of her dreams was to come up with a soup actually for the market. And she just encouraged me to come into her kitchen and she'd teach me. So I actually took her up on her offer. She showed me a couple of different recipes. And so from that day I developed 2 recipes. Now a couple of years later I've got 5 different varieties of soups.
So this whole craze about food and then organic, where did it come from?
I've always been interested in exercise and the outdoors. So originally that's where the farming came up. And then as I've gotten older, I started now developing the whole craze of healthy foods. So it's actually in the more recent years that, yeah, the whole healthiness has come into play.
What was the process of just putting together the business and then even the product and getting it into the market?
Initially, actually when I was farming, because it was organic, I had to go through a certification process. But having to have done that for farming, putting it into, now changing it to put it into food wasn't too difficult. Okay. So I just went to KEBS and asked them, you know, what I needed. They gave me the different regulations. So it was just a question of taking them my product. They tested it. I didn't have any issues after that.
Tell me about the products. Eden.
The product that we have currently in the market is pre-cooked soup.
What is it called?
It's actually Eden Soups, and you'll find them in Chandarana supermarket. We just 10 days ago launched them, so we're very excited about that. We're doing tasters in the market right now, just trying to get the word out. The 5 different varieties are, we have a cream of tomato soup, and then we have a butternut and carrot soup, butternut and spinach soup, pumpkin and cauliflower, and courgette and dill.
A can just walk into the supermarket, pick up my soup and warm it, and it's ready to...
And it's ready to eat.
What is the packaging like?
The packaging is a half-liter tub, and you'll find it actually in the frozen section. Because we're not putting any additives or preservatives, we've chosen to sell it as a frozen product. So for all those singles who get home and can't figure out what to eat, or people who are trying to lose weight, and don't want to eat a heavy meal at the end of the day, or even at lunchtime, it's an easy option and a healthy option.
I like the process of by which your business has evolved, you know, growing the food, beginning to use some of the products from the farm and package them into the supermarket, so you know, getting that background, and then now finding a niche in terms of the soup line. Is that it for Eden?
What I want to do is develop a whole line of convenient but healthy foods. So what we're busy doing right now is actually working with a school to develop snacks, healthy snacks for kids in schools. Because some of the things that we're discovering in the market right now is a lot of people are developing diabetes and heart conditions and those kind of things a lot earlier than our parents used to, and that's mainly because of diet. So what we're trying to do is develop healthy snacks for kids to be able to take in during their break or for lunches and that kind of thing. And then also I'd like to develop other meals, whole meals. Now, again, for your single people or busy mothers, whoever it is, that you can just pick up from the frozen section in the supermarket and heat up, and it's ready, but without the additives, without the preservatives or any of that unhealthy stuff.
What kind of a team do you have?
Well, right now it's just me and my sales girls. The way I've developed my business is I've subcontracted actually the production. So the recipes are mine, but what I've subcontracted now the production to somebody else. And I had to make that decision mainly because I was just starting and I needed to figure out where the cash flow was going to be focused. Yeah. So for now, get the brand name Eden grown, and then move backwards and develop my own commercial kitchen.
We need to take a short break now. When we return, we'll hear more about Eden. Don't go away.
Scenario building enables you to come up with a set of possible courses of action that allows you to be dynamic, that allows you to try one objective, it doesn't work out, then you move on into a different objective.
Welcome back. You're watching Road to Success, the key to your next level in business. My guest today is Stella Ndiho. She's the managing director of Eden. Like you said, the business started with a garden of organic fruits, and vegetable. Do you still have the garden?
No. When I started having the cash flow issues, I had to make a decision whether I was going to focus on the farming or the production. And just from a purely business point of view, I figured it was going to be faster to turn over capital with the production because I can always buy the produce from other people. So the farming, I still intend to go back into farming at some point in my life, but for now, we're focusing on production.
What are the challenges in terms of just selling your product to this market?
One of the challenges that I've experienced is just when you go into the supermarkets asking them, are they willing to stock your product? They'll tell you their deep freezers are full. So I need to figure out where I'm going to get my deep freezers from. And then also, obviously now that restricts me from the supermarkets that I can go into. If the supermarkets only have branded freezers, then it means I can't get my produce, or rather my product into that. And then there is a perception that anything frozen has a lot of additives and preservatives. So I'm having to educate people that the nutrients are lost during the cooking. But what we're encouraging people to look at the soups as is it's a healthy option as opposed to the fried foods and it's a healthy option as opposed to anything else that has the preservatives and all the salts and all the rest of it. Because I really wanted my product to cater to people who are also health challenged with the diabetes and heart conditions and all those. So we're very conscious about levels of salt that we're putting in and that kind of thing.
Tell me, when you made your first sale, were you there?
We were busy doing the promos, but yes, at the sale, I remember the sales girl at the teller was just like, yay! And I was very, very excited. And then I had to leave for a couple of hours, but I remember coming back in the evening realizing, oh my gosh, I have to cook some more soup for tomorrow. And I was panicked, but it was exciting.
Tell me about marketing, getting your product into the market, getting people to know about it, finding the right kind of logo and labels for your product. Tell me about that process.
Well, I've been very blessed. In terms of building up the logo and the brand, I had a friend who just offered to do it for me. Now, in terms of marketing, again, because of cash flow and all those restrictions, I had to try and figure out what was the easiest way for me to do this. So the first thing I did is just, I created a Facebook page for Eden and just sent it out to all my friends and just started off like that. And initially what I've been doing before I launched the soups was just sending out tips 3 times a week, healthy tips for people to live on. And the idea behind that was, I hear a lot of people saying, I'm trying to lose weight, but how does that translate into their daily lives? Or I am diabetic, but I know I'm not supposed to eat this, but what's the alternative? So those are the kind of tips I've been trying to kind of get out to people. But now that the soups are in the market, then we're really concentrating on just kind of getting the brand name Eden out there.
So does Eden have a website, or does it have a Facebook page? Or
it has a Facebook page. The website is coming, and then now it's just in the supermarkets. It's doing tasters. For us, that has been the easiest way to market. People are actually responsive, because you wouldn't go into a supermarket and buy something that's new and you don't know how to taste it.
Tell me about some of the lessons learned as you've traversed the road to success.
Never give up. Though obviously saying that is very different when you don't have cash in your pocket. That's been challenging. But I think my faith has also helped me, just learning the lessons of perseverance. And as you persevere, doors open.
What does it take to be a businesswoman, and then especially now in healthy food?
Some discipline, that's for sure. Perseverance, surrounding yourself with people who are also encouraging, having to constantly think outside of the box.
When you look at the future, what do you see?
Processing company that is in East and Central Africa. I'd love to be able to do that. Feeding people with healthy foods. God willing, I'd even possibly like to develop even high nutritional foods for like refugee camps and those kind of things.
Stella, thank you so much for coming to share your story with us. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very, very much. It's been a pleasure for me too.
Road to Success is brought to you by Equity Bank.
Equity Bank. You are listening, caring partner.